Hey there, and welcome into another exciting episode of A for Effort. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, we start off giving thanks to our unofficial sponsor of the podcast, AMC A-List. $19.95 a month gets you 3 movies a week at local AMC theaters in your area. Check AMC.com for theater listings and offer availability. Today's episode, the movie is Long Shot. Now, I see a lot of movies, so I see a lot of trailers. I've seen the trailer, 2 different trailers for this movie, saw them multiple times, and I was like, man, I bet I've seen all the comedy this movie has to offer. I bet it's going to be one of those feel-good endings that I'm not really a fan of, but I'll go see it anyway because I like Seth Rogen. And am I so happy to come out and tell you that it's not. It's not all in the trailers. What a great movie this was, man. I laughed hysterically throughout this whole movie. It's just great. Best comedy of the year so far. There's some great comedies coming down the road that might give it its run for its money, but man, this was it, man. Seth Rogen did a great job with this movie. I laughed out loud numerous times. Wow. I mean, wow. I'm just shocked at how good this movie was. The movie stars Charlize Theron, Seth Rogen, June Diane Raphael, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ravi Patel, Bob Odenkirk, Andy Serkis, and Alexander Skarsgård. Like I said, Seth Rogen is one of the kings of comedy of our generation. Yeah, he does his typical dick and fart jokes every once in a while, but you know what? He actually had some great, genuine moments in this movie that were funny and had some punch, you know, because we're telling a story about a woman trying to become president and how hard that is, also while trying to hold off feelings for this schlubby dude that she's got as a writer on her team who writes her speeches for her. And, you know, it had some good moments. It had some good, story to tell. And at the end of the day, I was like, wow, this is just a great movie, and I am so happy that the trailers didn't ruin it. There was I saw one trailer that was like Seth Rogen reasserts himself as one of the comedy geniuses and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, but I mean, could it be that good? And I'm like, wow, man, it was. It really was funnier than I ever thought it could be. He really is one of our kings of comedy, and Charlize Theron has some comedy chops of her own. I mean, she's really funny in this movie, and there is a great sequence in the middle portion of the movie where she's high on Molly and has to negotiate out a hostage situation, and it's hilarious. I mean, absolutely phenomenally funny. O'Shea Jackson Jr. continues to crush every movie he's in. I love him to death. He has a funny ass moment towards the end where he, goes full pop culture with the Wakanda Forever. I mean, what an amazing cast. And not to mention, this movie includes probably my favorite actor, and I didn't even know it. Andy Serkis was in this schlubby, fat, old dude suit the whole movie, and I'm like, why do I know this guy? The way he's talking, I know this voice. Who is it? And finally we get to the credits and I'm like, okay, all right, let's figure this out. I'm waiting. Okay, let's figure it out. I'm waiting. And bam, I'm like, wow, Andy Serkis. Couldn't believe it. As soon as I realized, yep, that's exactly who it was. It was Andy Serkis. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, yep, it figures. And he's just a master of disguise. I love him in everything he does. What more can I say about Andy Serkis? Bob Odenkirk gets to play a pretty hilarious president. He's an actor turned president, kind of making fun of Reagan, definitely making fun of Trump for sure. But it definitely was a lot of fun. I mean, I had fun with this movie, and it definitely deserves an A+ for the laughs. A+ is definitely what it's going to get. I had fun with it. Like I said, it's probably my favorite comedy of the year so far. The mid-year awards will be coming up in June, so it'll definitely be up in the running for that. I loved it. I thought it was great. I was shockingly impressed. June Diane Raphael was great, and Paul Shear's in this movie as well. And I leaned over to my wife and was like, Jason Mantzoukas shows up. The entire cast of How Did This Get Made is in the movie. He didn't end up showing up, but 2/3 of How Did This Get Made were in this movie, so that was pretty awesome. And Alexander Skarsgård plays the Prime Minister of Canada, and it's just offensive as hell to anyone that's from Canada, but it was funny. It played for laughs, but it was good. It really was. Again, A+ from A for Effort for Long Shot. Great movie. Definitely see it. It has, like I said, it's got its dick and fart jokes, you expect from Seth Rogen, but it's really got a lot of heart, and it's really got a lot of good laughs in it. I love this movie. I have been your host, Matt. You can check us out on all podcasting platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor. Check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment, let us know if you like The Long Shot. Come back to us next time on A for Effort, and we'll have another quality movie review.